You
I'm
good?
sitting on like two little stools because my chair doesn't fit over here, so
Big guy,
it's the
little
best setup
stool.
I can get.
Hey, what's up? This is Dave.
This is Brandon.
And this is Joshua. You are now tuned into PBD Horror.
Hey guys, I'm Felissa Rose, Angela from Sleepaway Camp, and you're listening to PBD Horror. Yeah!
The first thing we're going to go over today will be the streaming Sundays, which are our rotating picks of movies that we just decided to delve into on the streaming sites. So these are ones that we haven't seen before, ones that we haven't really heard of, or kind of just like ones that we always see on the queue and just never get around to. So Brandon, you want to start off with your pick a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, I had chosen The Final Terror, which you can find streaming on Tubi. It's a 1983 slasher film directed by Andrew Davis. A lot of films wanted to ride that Halloween and Friday the 13th wave, and they all just got caught up in that hype, and got called copycats. And so they really didn't get a lot of attention that they deserved, and they were like overlooked. But I think The Final Terror was, to me, like the cover to that film, it looked a little cheesy, but I was like, you know what? Let me just give this a try. Let me check it out. Let me see what it's about. It's actually about, a group of kids going camping in California and the redwoods. And so just a lot of like crazy shit going on. And it's a fun ride. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a cool film. It definitely slept on. I never watched it before. And so, like, I love that we can give attention to films that, we never seen before and kind of, like, show other viewers something new, something different. And so, that was definitely a film that I enjoyed, So I don't really want to give a lot away, but definitely if you're a big fan of, like, Friday the 13th and, like, The Burning, you'll probably definitely love this film. It's a lower budget, but definitely you guys check it out. Have you guys seen it before?
No. I actually never even heard of it. You know what? I thought it was interesting. I was looking at that post and I was like, oh, that cover looks familiar. So I scrolled down a little bit and it's like the same format of a cover of the New York Ripper that I had done like the week prior. Like the writing on the poster looks exactly the same. I'm like, oh, that's where it's from. But no, it sounds cool. I think I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it, man.
It is now in my queue.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, we're not getting paid from Tubi, but hey, here we go. It's streaming on Tubi, so check it out. Maybe you guys will like it. But hey,
Tubi, if you're looking for somebody to sponsor, we're just saying.
So I took a page out of your guys' books. I picked a movie off of Tubi as well, which is actually I think I overlooked Tubi a lot, so I just decided recently I'm going to give it a shot and find some weird ones on there. So I found one called Don't Go in the Woods ... Alone. This is a 1981 slasher. I read the description. I was like, oh, this is all me right here. It's slasher in the woods, typical 80s. The one thing for me was a lot of the kills were like implied. So like almost like early Friday the 13th ones where it's like Jason stabs and then the camera goes to like something else or something. But at the end, it picks up the gore. There's definitely some crazy scenes in there. And the killer is just simply called Maniac from what I could find because I couldn't find a name for him. But he's like this crazy woodsman that like has some kind of necklaces draped on his head and it looks absolutely bizarre. I'm going to use him for one of the upcoming Profile of a Killer posts because he's definitely worth showing off. He's pretty funny looking. But I know I asked you guys right before.
Is that an 80s film?
What is it?
Did that come out in the 80s, Dave?
Yeah, it was 81. So yeah, I know you guys.
I think I saw that like a long time ago.
I think there's a newer version of it or something, or another movie called Don't Go in the Woods might be from like 2010 or something like that. Because when I was looking it up, I found that a bunch. And then there's also Don't Go Fuck in the Woods, which I've never seen, but I know
Don't go.
Yeah, that's the one I was talking to you about earlier.
Yeah, I haven't seen
Don't
that.
fuck
But
in the woods. That was actually a pretty crazy movie. I liked it.
that's what I heard.
Is that a porn?
And then it was my pick, right, on the streaming.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say.
I did Bone Box. Oh, I'm sorry. I totally cut you off.
That's all right, man. I was just gonna say, I would definitely recommend Don't Go Alone in the Wood. Go in the Woods Alone. If you like slashers and you like 80s movies, it's all of that. So definitely something I would tell people to go watch, and it's on Tubi. Go ahead, Josh. Sorry.
Cool.
Thanks, man. I picked Bone Box. I know you guys were riding me the last couple of years because I don't watch new films. So this year I was like, I'm gonna watch all 2020 films. So that's what I did. I watched a 2020 Bone Box, and I started out. It was pretty decent. It was about a grave robber, and then the stuff he steals from the people, like they haunt him, which was pretty cool. And what really made the movie was the actors. Jamie Burnett that was in it. She's pretty good. I really like her stuff. And she didn't have a big role, but it was pretty good. And then who was it? Maria Olsen. That's it. I wrote it down just to make sure. Maria Olsen is incredible. And to see her like range of characters that she can do, she played like the old grandmother in this, and she was super creepy. So that pretty much made the whole film for me. Just her acting alone. So I'm sure it's not the best film in the world, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. So there you go. And that was on Netflix.
Oh,
and Tubi.
on Netflix?
Yeah, and I think it was on Tubi too. I know it was on a couple. It might be on Amazon as well. I know it's like one of those films that was on like everything.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, and then that brings me to my stuff next was So Bad It's Good. I'll just get into that. I don't know if it's your first time listening. I love really bad horror movies, so that's where this came from. Something that's so bad you watch it repeatedly. And I got a couple of them. Pool Party Massacre, I did. That was from 2015, 2017, 18, somewhere around there.
I want to say it was 2017, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, dude, I never heard of it, so I just watched it and I was like blown away. It was obviously low budget, but it was so well done. It was a slasher film, and the guy just picked random tools and like got them all bloodied and put them back. And the kills were awesome. The guy, the beard in that, not as good as mine, but it was up there, man. He had a cool beard, so that alone is worth the price of admission. But apparently, a lot of people really like the film. It's got a big cult following, and I had no idea. But man, it was. If you like slashers, it's on par, man.
Josh, I was just gonna say, I think another reason why it seems to be getting a lot of attention is it keeps popping up on Prime. Like when you're scrolling through, like if you watch horror movies, I think it's one of those that it keeps getting like suggested. So it came up a couple of times on mine when I was going through. I almost watched it, but I wasn't brave enough.
You should. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of girls in bikinis too, if you're into that kind of thing.
If you're into it.
Doink? If you're into it, I'm just saying. Because Doink, what's up with the Doink? How come you're Dave Too Hottie and I'm Doink?
Josh, you're forgetting this is an audio podcast, so people can't see. So we're on Zoom right now. We weren't able to get together tonight, and Josh has been named Doink on our Zoom. Brandon is Big Papa Pump, and I'm Davey Too Hottie.
Those are wrestlers.
You guys got cool names.
So do you, Doink.
But anyway, I don't know. I'm thinking wrestler, like Dave Too Hottie and Doink the Clown. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Which brings me to my
You're
next
just
movie.
missing your partner.
Karis Hell. Karis Hell came out just recently, right? Like 2015, 2016. I wrote it down so I could check. See, 2015 ish. If you haven't seen Karis Hell, it's awesome. This unicorn's on a carousel. It comes to life and jumps off the carousel and goes on a murderous rampage and kills everybody. The kills are awesome. Like he stomps on people, he gets a bow and arrow and starts shooting people for some reason, but he never like moves. He's always stuck in this position, and he talks. And there's even a sex scene with the unicorn, so that like made the whole film, right?
Josh, can I ask you a question?
What?
Why does this happen?
What are you talking about?
Why?
That is right up there. That is like cinematic history right there. That's almost up there with The Godfather. All right.
No, I mean, why does this happen
The
at all?
Godfather.
Like, why does the horse come off the carousel?
For revenge.
Yeah.
Some kid was a punk ass kid. He's kicking him and acting like an ass to the little unicorn. And he's like, "I'm gonna kill you, you son of a bitch!"
Oh,
And he jumps off and goes on a murderous rampage.
makes total sense.
It does. You guys gotta watch it, man.
Oh
It's the best movie
God.
ever.
Josh, I
Come
can't
on,
believe
it's a
there's a time in
unicorn
my
that
life
and then
that's
so-
gone by without seeing this.
the hero is the sheriff of the park with the big mascot head, and he comes out like, "Hey, I'm gonna shoot you up, cowboy." Super awesome.
Wait, why
Super
is he
awesome.
wearing a mascot head?
Absolute must see. What's that?
Why is he wearing a mascot head?
I don't know. Why is your name Dave Too Hottie? I don't ask questions. I just want to see the unicorn have sex with a hot girl.
All right, there you go. Whatever floats your boat, man. Whatever you're into.
Yeah, it was definitely worth it.
All right.
I'm telling you guys, you got to check it out.
All right.
All right, it's on the list. It's on the
Next
list.
movie night.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm probably gonna prioritize Pool Party Massacre over Karis Hell.
Yeah.
But
You don't want to have a double feature?
you're right, Brandon. You're right.
You don't want to do that, Dave? You sure?
Yeah. You know what?
Oh!
I think I know that what I'm gonna do. Karis Hell. There's a beer called Unicorn Farts, and I think that needs to be Beers and Scares right there. So thank you, Josh.
Huh?
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, shit.
So I guess that kind of gives me a little transition into the Beers and Scares, my segment where I on Friday nights I pair up a movie that I'm watching with a beer that I try to like get there to be some kind of like reasoning behind the pairing, but that's not always possible. But I actually had a couple of good ones the last 2 weeks. So the first one I did was the film Ghost Stories, which is a British horror film. And I paired that with a Portland brewery called Banded Brewing and their beer called Ghost Window, which was a Saison that was aged in gin barrels. So this is like, peppery Saison, but then it's got like some gin flavor to it. But it was actually super smooth. I love that beer. Ghost Stories. Brandon, I know you've seen this. Josh, have you seen it?
I think so.
All right. I think
yeah.
you do, actually.
I think you did, Josh, because I had that. I think when it came out, like 2018, right?
Yeah. It's got
Yeah,
Martin
'cause I know
Freeman in it.
it made my top
Yeah.
10. What was it? Top 10? We did that
Yep.
for 2018. They definitely. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it.
So this was
Wasn't bad.
interesting because it's not a typical horror movie. It's not. It like the beginning, like there's parts that they look like they're like really trying to go for scary. Then there's parts that are kind of trying to go for almost funny horror, like the kid that had he felt like he had like some kind of mental illness or something, and then they go into his ghost story, and then that thing was almost like silly, but it was like in a good way. And then the last one was just kind of like freaky with Martin Freeman's segment, and then they do this big twist at the end, which the twist I could have done without. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm not gonna spoil the end for everybody. But it was one of those ones where it's almost kind of like an eye roll, like, oh, of course. But I did appreciate how they tied everything together in the movie. It's definitely a well-made film. I got to say that. And Martin Freeman is a very underrated actor. So he was also recently in that, well, I shouldn't say recently, it was a couple of years ago now. He was in Cargo, which is like a zombie film that was pretty unique. That's on Netflix. What's that movie everybody knows him from? Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I think it was that he kind of got him popular, but he's been around for a while. He was actually the original, I could be wrong, but he was in the British Office, and he played like Jim's character, the American Jim. He was that character in the British Office. That's how I used to know him. But he's a great actor. So I definitely would recommend Ghost Stories with that kind of knowing ahead of time that like the ending you're either going to say, okay, I like this, or you're gonna absolutely hate it. The last Beers and Scares I did was Lord of Illusions, Clive Barker's Lord of Illusions, and I was drinking another Portland brewery, Battery Steel, which I love. Their Looming Illusion, which is a fruited ghost, which is kind of like a sour with vanilla. Delicious, super delicious beer. This was my first time watching Lord of Illusions, so I know that movie's obviously an older film. It's been around for a while. And it's kind of a cult classic. I loved it. I think it's a great movie. I don't know what took me so long to watch it, to be honest with you. It's got Scott Bakula from Quantum Leap, so right there, you can't go wrong. But what, I don't know, have you guys seen Lord of Illusions? I'm assuming you both have.
No, I have not seen that. Is it on? What's the streaming on?
It's on Tubi, which I was also surprised about. I should mention Ghost Stories is streaming on Hulu. But yeah, Lord of Illusions is on Tubi. It's a great film. It's kind of like a mix of cult, there's a cult that's going around, there's magic, there's detective story. Famke Jensen, is that her name? Famke? I don't know how to say it. Yeah, she's in it. I didn't realize that. Good film. Yeah, I definitely would check it out. Josh, you said you saw it?
Yeah, that's one of those films that, like, when it came out, it was super awesome. It was really I can't remember if it was independent or not, but I remember when it came out, and I was super excited to see it, and I loved it. Everyone was like, "Oh, it was such a great film," and then you never heard of it again.
Yeah,
it was one of those films where it came out, and everybody was like, "This is awesome," and then, you know, it was like, no, like 20 years later, everybody's like, "Oh, remember that film? Oh no," you know what I mean? It's kind of a shame because it's such a good film. It's really good.
I feel like Clive Barker films get overlooked a lot for some reason. And I think it's because they're a little uncomfortable to watch. He has a lot of elements of, like, I don't know, there's just weird scenes that make you feel sort of dirty when you watch them. And I feel like that's why, like, even if you like the film, it's like hard to go back and revisit. Even Hellraiser kind of has a little bit of that edge for me, where I'm like, I like Hellraiser movies, but I don't ever think to, like, go and watch one again or something. I don't know. There's something about Clive Barker movies that have, like, this really dark, dirty feeling to me, at least. But I definitely, this is one I can't believe I haven't seen before. So I was glad to watch it. And like I said, both of those breweries are in Portland, Maine. I was just up there recently. That's why I have all these Portland, Maine beers. Delicious. Battery Steel and Banded Brewing. Check them out. And those are my Beers and Scares.
All right, so now we're going to step into Slept on Saturday. I had chosen the film 976 Evil. It's a 1988 film directed by Robert Englund. And a lot of Fright Night fans, you know, you're going to see Stephen Jeffries. He's going to be the star of the film, a.k.a. Evil Ed. It's about two cousins, Spike and Hoax. One's cool, one's not. They both use this fortune hotline that's ran by the devil. And Hoax gets possessed by the devil during everything because, you know, Spike is that cousin that just protected him in school all the time. And, you know, Hoax is always just getting beat up by the kid, like the bullies in school. And so, you know, he used the hotline and, like, the devil possessed him and he was able to sit back and, like, fight against all the bullies and everything and become cool. You know, it was always one of those films that stuck out to me when I was younger. I love the films that always stick out with some cool covers, you know, because it's like I can sit back and think, like, damn, this film, I don't know what this film's gonna be, you know, but just this cover art is just it's speaking to me, you know. And it's like, you know, it was always something that, like, I would always sit back and say I want to rent this, but, you know, I was able to rewatch that the other day and it still holds up. So I enjoy that film. So have you guys seen it before?
No, I was gonna ask you, where did you watch it? Because I couldn't find it. I can only find the
it's not streaming anywhere. So I had rented it on my Apple TV.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you can get it on, like, Amazon and everything like that. I think it was like $3.99 to rent. So Josh,
I don't know if you guys know. I'm pretty sure that's where Robert Englund met his wife on the set of that film.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that.
There's a completely useless fact that will never get me anywhere in life.
Actually, part 2 is streaming on
Prime.
on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
It's not as good as the first one, No, I'll tell you that much.
I'll tell you that
That was
right
good
there.
the first time. Yeah. Gosh, you might
You watch the second one?
Yeah, you could probably add that to It's So Bad It's Not Good.
Ah, that sucks.
I've seen plenty.
No, it's so bad.
Yeah,
Why'd you make
yeah.
this?
Yeah, I keep seeing it show up, but I'm like, I got to see the first one before I watch it. So
Yeah, you guys would like it. I think you would
Yeah.
enjoy it.
I definitely am gonna keep an eye out for it. All right. So the other pick that we did for Slept on Saturday was the 2010 Mexican horror film We Are What We Are. Brandon, you let me borrow this actually, so that's how I even saw it. This was a movie about a family, and all right, I haven't seen this since like 2010, so I'm kind of going off some memory, and then I had to refresh my memory on Google. So it's about a family. I guess their father recently has died, and they're trying to carry on this tradition that something's up the whole film, but it's like not revealed right away what the tradition is. Am I right about that, Brandon, or is that just my incorrect memory? I feel like you didn't know until later.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, all right. So all right, my memory is right then. So I remember like really, really, really enjoying this film. It kept me captivated because I was like not really sure what was going on. You really start to like the family and really want whatever it is that they're trying to do. You want them to succeed. And then you find out they're cannibals, and that is what their whole tradition has to do, or their ritual is about cannibalism. So yeah, very, very cool film. I really was like, for foreign films, this sticks out to me as one of the ones that I enjoyed. If I was looking at it like a top 10 of my foreign films, I would say this was up there for foreign horror for sure. I know there was a remake somewhat recently that's streaming everywhere. Don't get it confused with the remake. I've never seen the remake. I can't speak upon it. No, what? I did see the remake, and I don't think I liked it. I don't think it was the exact same though. So yeah, this is
not a surprise. A lot of remakes not that great.
Yep. For some reason, this was like along at that time where they felt like they had to make an American remake for every foreign film, and it just doesn't translate the same. The energy is usually different. The vibes. It's like when they made a remake for Inside and Martyrs. It's like, why are you doing that? But yeah, We Are What We Are. I did find it. I think it's streaming on Prime or somewhere. It's streaming, so you can definitely check it out. Just like I said, make sure it's the 2010 Mexican horror film, not the American.
You guys got to let me get my borrow on. I got to see that. Once I saw the post, I was like, how come I haven't seen this?
Yeah,
definitely got to watch that.
Yeah, check it out, Josh.
Yeah,
you like it.
Speaking of remakes, that takes me to Monster Monday, right? That's next, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I did the remake of Little Shop of Horrors. So I don't know if you guys know, I'm allergic to remakes. They make me ill. But I really like this one. Yeah, man. I really like this one. I love Little Shop of Horrors. The music's great. I remember one of my old bosses, somehow it came up and we started singing the tunes, and he did like a whole musical, whatever it was. Like, remember that movie that people used to go see where all the people were in their bras and panties and they throw bread and crap like that and do the time warp and all that? You know what I'm talking about?
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
Well, I never made it through one. I fell asleep every time, but he wanted to start a cult thing where he shows that film and throws stuff at the screen when people get eaten and all kinds of stuff. I thought it was the best idea ever. One of my all-time favorite films. One of the first films I watched with my son when he was getting into scary movies. Just a great film. And it's got Rick Moranis and I think James Belushi was in there. Like it had a really big cast of people.
Josh, have you seen you've seen the original too, right?
Yeah.
Do you prefer the remake over the original?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was the only remake. I think the music was really awesome. I think it was done so tongue-in-cheek that it just made it better, as opposed to worse. Usually I'm a big original guy. but that one I kind of like the remake better. So that's probably the only film.
Yeah.
The only film.
I've seen the original like a million times when I was younger. So I have a soft spot for that one. But yeah, this was definitely a really fun film.
So who was better in the dentist scene? There's the real question. Who was better in the dentist scene?
I'd have to watch them both again because it's been ages since I've seen either. But yeah, I don't know.
We should do that. It was Jack Nicholson, and then
Yes.
oh, I forgot the other guy's name. It was so good, so good. Both of them.
I love Jack Nicholson in that scene, though. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Wasn't that the best scene? I think that scene takes it in the original, but the remake, it's still good. So there you go.
All right. So next we're gonna get into Kill of the Week and my Survivor series. So the Kill of the Week, I had chosen like the bar fight from the 1996 film From Dusk Till Dawn, directed by Robert Rodriguez and written by Quentin Tarantino. Like, to me, like growing up and just watching that film, you know, it was just so crazy, you know, with the bar fight and all the vampires and everything going on. Because at first I was just watching that film, I'm like, what the hell is this movie about? Because it like kind of dragged a little bit. And so then when the vampires started to come, I was just like, holy shit. And so like that fight scene always stuck out of my head. So you got people like George Clooney, Tom Savini, Selma Hayek, you know, Fred Williamson, just battling these vampires and everything like that. I just always thought it was cool. So that was my choice for the week, for the Kill of the Week.
It's crazy that none of those actors ever amounted to anything.
George Clooney, come on, ER.
I'm just kidding. That's like the biggest name actor right there. That's actually pretty insane for a horror film. So that's cool.
Yeah, it's crazy, you know. Yeah. And I remember watching that film, man. It was just because back in the day, you remember the black boxes?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so it would like always be on TV, and I just like, I'm like, all right, let me check this out. I would just sit there and watch it, and I'm just like, oh man.
I've never seen it.
What?
I love that movie. Wait, you never saw it?
What the fuck?
No, I have never seen it.
Wow.
Oh wow!
Hey,
that movie's so good. You got to see it. Tom Savini has like a dick gun. Like he's just sitting there, all of a sudden, boom, a gun comes out.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah. I always hear about that. Yeah.
Dave, you got to watch it.
Oh, it's like cinematic history, man. But you know what? George Clooney didn't do any horror movies after that. I watched Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Totally not exactly what I was thinking it was. Like, I was very upset.
Yeah, but also I remember posting like last year that Quentin Tarantino had said like, you know, his next film he wants to go back into horror. Yeah. So, you know, I'm definitely on the lookout for that. So
that's cool, man. That was such a good film. Such a good film.
Yeah, I just rewatched it a few times. I watched it like twice, and it definitely holds up to this day. So, Dave, you definitely need to check that out.
All right.
And then so next, we're going to get into Survivor Series. This week, I had chosen Leah Cabot and Dennis Gilder from Christine. You know, I always thought that was a cool film, and that definitely still holds up to this day. And just what those guys been through in that film, you know, when your best friend's going through something, like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like me and Dave when we're sitting here recording with Josh and running this page, you know, he's always going through something. And so it's like we have to sit back and try to help him out. You know, Josh could be an asshole at times, kind of like Arnie. So, you know, it kind of sticks out. You know, and I enjoy that film. You know what I mean? I thought it was always cool. And one of our followers kind of put that out there that, you know, it was her favorite Stephen King film, you know, from his books. So it definitely sticks out, you know.
It's like when me and you, Brandon, it's like when we're always like, why does Josh keep sending us pictures of him in these crazy sunglasses? Like, what's going on with this guy?
Yeah,
keep doing it.
Up, man?
We've been through so much because of him.
I think it's his fucking car fucking with him, man. I don't know.
His car is making him think he's cool. Dude, Christine has the best theme song. I love the theme song to Christine. That is classic. I love it.
I gotta say, I was pretty impressed when you picked it. Like, that's a really good pick, man. That was
that means a lot to me, Josh. That you like my picks. You know what I mean? That means a lot to me.
It sounds like he's saying he didn't think you were capable of it.
Yeah, I think he does. I don't think he likes my content. I don't think.
Oh,
Josh likes
I
my
think that's what he's
content.
saying.
Yeah, it's all right though.
I'm
Cool.
jealous because you have videos and I don't. Like, where's the video of the unicorn having sex? Come on.
I
You
think we
can't
will get
get video.
kicked off of fucking. We will get kicked off social media.
Yeah. You can't get video on a phone from the 1991. You know, it's like your 1991 Apple.
You did it with Psycho Sisters, remember? You put up a Psycho Sisters scene on our story one time or something.
Yeah.
I don't know how you did
Did
that.
actually, you're right. No, that was me filming my TV because it's a VHS. But yeah, you have to get Psycho Sisters in there. I knew that was gonna happen.
Psycho fucking sisters.
Josh, we will let you have a whole episode about Psycho Sisters as long as we don't have to talk about it every week.
For the rest of the year.
I'm down with that. I'm down with it.
A full
I
episode.
want that written down, guys. I want that written down.
All right.
All right, back to real movies.
Real movies.
Brandon, director of the week, man. I love that you're doing this sequence. So tell us about these.
All right. So for the first director of the week that I had chosen was Brian Usna. You know, he had films like Society, The Dentist, and everyone probably doesn't know this, but you know, Return of the Living Dead 3. You know, like I told you guys before, you know, that was always a film to me. Like I always seen that film on TV and not even knowing what the fuck the title of that movie was, because I would sit back and I'm like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? And then when I found out that it was Return of the Living Dead 3, I'm like, you know, this movie has nothing to do with the first two films, you know, because the first two films kind of had that little horror comedy to it.
Yeah.
And this was more serious, romantic story, and it was something it was definitely different. I enjoy his work, you know, and so yeah, those are definitely some films that stick out to me. And what do you guys think about those films?
I was going to tell you, because I know for a few weeks we had been talking about Return of the Living Dead 3 because I had never seen it. I ended up watching it. It's definitely a good film. I'm glad I went back to it because I had seen the beginning a ton of times when I was a kid. Like you were saying with the black box, that used to always be on Showtime or something, or Showtime or HBO.
Yeah.
And I would, like as a kid, when I would go and try to watch those stations, and it would come up, and I would always see that, you know, the zombie they're doing the tests on, and he's wearing like the little he's wearing like a little cloth strap.
Fucking metal rods.
I hated that guy. So when I was a kid, I always change it right away. I was like, that guy's gross looking. No. But I'm glad I went back and watched it because it's actually a good film. What else did you say? Society. That was a fun one. It's gross, fun. What was the other one you said he did?
The Dentist.
Oh, The Dentist. I just watched that one again recently. And that's, oh my God, Corbin Burnson is a crazy man in that film.
Yes.
Right, Josh? I know you probably love that.
Yeah.
I told you about that, right? I told you it was a great movie.
Yeah.
Told you. The Dentist was awesome.
I have it on my list to watch.
One of the unsung slashers.
Yeah, you're right.
I didn't know he directed part 3. The only thing I remember was the girl with all the stuff stuck in her when she was like, I need to feel pain. Dude, that when I remember watching that, I was like, whoa, that's awesome.
So,
I mean, I was probably like 12 years old, you know, like seeing a half-naked chick with stuff, glass sticking in her face and stuff, and her boobies. I was like, oh my God, that probably shaped my entire teenage years right there.
Says a lot.
Yeah,
it was a lot.
And shout out to Nick Benson because he did the special effects on Society. You know, so shout out to Nick Benson, friend of the show. So so next I want to step into my next director,
Frank Henenlotter.
Case, Brain Damage, and Frankenhooker. Josh, I'm pretty sure you're really in tune with Frankenhooker. What do you think about that film?
Oh, I love that film. Yeah, I think I make a post about that film for So Bad It's Good?
No, you did.
I think you did.
You did the other thing. Your icon, horror icon.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Frankenhooker versus Frankenberry. That's what it was.
Frankenberry. Oh my God.
Dude, and then last week you just referenced Count Chocula. I mean, There's a theme going here. You're a
I love
serial
my
guy.
cereal. You leave me alone.
Yeah.
This guy. But yeah, he made some great films. Brain Damage. A few weeks ago, if you never seen that film, we had it on Joe Bob,
Yeah.
The Last Drive-In.
That was
and
fun.
It was pretty. Yeah. So it's definitely he makes films that you can definitely go back and check out. That definitely hold up to this day. That definitely made things like kind of weird at the time back then. I know a lot of people probably like, what the fuck is this, And so, yeah, if you've seen the content on the page, you can sit there and see he had an interview with Joe Bob back in the 80s when the film was released, So definitely, if you haven't seen any of his films, check them out.
Did he do the Basket Case sequels too?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know
Really?
what
He did all of them? Or-
Yeah.
You know what I love about Brain Damage is the guy from Basket Case makes an appearance in Brain Damage. There's a scene on the subway and he's holding the basket.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. I love how it's like that, it's like a Stephen King universe or whatever. I love that
Yeah, universe.
when
Yep.
characters cross mingle in their other movies. I think that's so fun. But yeah, there was definitely a scene where a guy has a basket on the subway.
Yep. I definitely enjoy his film.
Wouldn't that be
so
cool if they still did that in films?
I guess like M. Night
Sorry,
Shyamalan
Brandon.
is like our closest right now with everything like the Shyamalan universe or whatever it is.
All right, so we're gonna jump into this Kid's Choice. With Ava, she picked Scream. It's like her favorite franchise films, so she enjoys it. It's definitely one of her films that she can always just watch, and enjoy. Say, Dad, I'm getting ready to watch Scream. You want to watch with me? And it's, hey, I'll throw it on. And she kind of likes watching the what was it, the little TV show that they had too. Have you guys watched that before?
No,
I think
I kept telling
probably
myself I was going to, and I didn't.
I couldn't do it. I probably watched like the first episode, and I really couldn't get into it. But it's funny. It was always that I guess the killer in that show, his name's Brandon James. so it's like, so you're like, oh, it's Dad, you're a killer in this show. I'm like, this show is fucking corny. I don't know. Like The Mask to me is, from the original to that Mask, I was just kind of like, I don't know. So for the next choice, we had Xavier. He chose Halloween. It's definitely one of his favorite films too, after Jaws. So, Michael Myers. Why are you bringing that fucking mask out, man?
I have the Scream mask, I think. The
Brandon
show.
James. That's
Isn't this from the show?
Yeah, it's the show.
That's right, dude. I'm cool.
Yeah, cool.
Hey, that's not even the Scream mask, man. That's like Heme. That's a Heme mask.
I'm cool with the kids, man.
It's like
cool
the
with the kids.
Not like
How cool are you with the kids?
not in like a weird way. Just like they think I'm cool and stuff. You know what I mean? Show's over.
All right, yeah. So, like I said, we were talking about Halloween. So, Dave, that's also one of your favorite films. What do you want to talk about on that?
Yep, I love it. Halloween. So like X-Man loves Halloween, huh?
Yeah, he picked Halloween.
I gotta say, Xavier has grown up quite a bit, because I remember a period of time where he was very afraid of like every horror movie that was ever made except for Jaws, and now he's picking Halloween. What did he pick? Strangers. Right? This guy, he's growing up right before our eyes.
Yeah, I would always bust his balls about that. I'm like, your younger sister likes better movies than you. No, she does not.
Little Kyle Kuzma is growing up.
Kyle Kuzma. Yeah, it definitely is. So it's cool. I think they're probably watching something now. And they finished watching. What was it? They watched Strangers again. They were just sitting there watching that, and they're probably in the room right now watching another horror movie.
I gotta say, I think Strangers is like one of the better things that's happened for the younger generation of horror fans, because it's opened up so many like outlet. Like, since kids obviously have access, even whether it's appropriate for kids or not, like they have a lot of kids that are able to watch it, and I think it's given them an appreciation for sci-fi and horror that maybe they didn't have before. And now I feel like maybe they're branching out and watching other things because of it. So I think that's really cool. I also think it's really cool that your kids are watching like Halloween, like original Halloween.
Yeah.
That's cool. Like that, he's not just watching like Rob Zombie's Halloween. Nothing wrong with that if you like Rob Zombie's Halloween, but
Yeah.
like for a kid in nowadays to appreciate a movie from the 70s, I don't know. It feels like that's like not that common anymore. So that's cool. So I give him a lot of props for that, and I give Ava props.
Yeah, and we were talking about that too last time because I remember when me and you went to go see the 2018 Halloween down in Salem. So we had seen it early before it came out. So the day that the film came out, what was that, October 18th?
Yeah.
So we had gone to check it out. I had taken both of them to watch it, and so after it was over, I had asked them. I said, "What do you guys think about it? Did you guys like it?" And it was just like, "Nah, no, we didn't like that." And so I was kind of like, "Yeah, you guys are right." You know what I mean? I think that film, I just didn't like it. You know what I mean? It doesn't have replay value. And so ever since that day, when I had talked to them about that film and they said they didn't like it, I was like, all right, I accept that. I can accept that.
Yeah.
Because, at the same time, I didn't really care for it. I think that it was more of just the experience that we had.
Yeah.
Watching that film.
It was definitely it was cool because like our nostalgia for like they had a lot of throwback nods to the original, which I loved. But yeah, seeing it in the theater, seeing it with people that were part of making it gave it a whole different experience for us. And I think I was so caught up in that. It's like they could have shown me complete trash and I was still like too excited to say whether to make like a formed opinion about it. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, man. So those are the kids' picks. I love them. You're raising those kids right, man. Scream, Halloween, Strangers. They're on the right track for murder. So.
For murder.
All right. So that brings us to our next segment, which is when we turn the lens and we focus on what you guys pick. So this is the follower pick of the week. This is when I come up with a question and I'll let you guys tell me what film you want us to feature, what one you feel is the best in whatever category the question is. So our first one I was going to talk about was a couple weeks ago. I did the best backwoods film, or AKA best lost in the middle of nowhere film. There was definitely some good votes for this, some good picks. But our winner ended up being Wrong Turn, which I know is one of Brandon's favorite franchises. So that was definitely a great pick. I was actually really shocked because when I threw it out there, I had Wrong Turn in my mind, but then the first person who voted said Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I was like, oh God, everyone's going to vote for that one. I didn't even think of that. And that's such an obvious pick that. But then like every person after that started saying Wrong Turn, so I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, Brandon, you're a huge fan of this franchise, right?
Yeah, it's definitely one of my guilty pleasures for the franchise because, the first film definitely stands out the most. And then from there on out, it just gets cheesy. But, it turned into that new release every October that I was always looking forward to. And then it just stopped after part 6. And that hurt me, so... That hurt me a lot. I'm like, I now it's like every October, I'm like, where the fuck's Wrong Turn? And it's like, come on, like, let's keep it going. But it's definitely a series that, the kills definitely stand out. And I had just recently gone back and watched part 2 because after watching part 1, when the first release, and then watching part 2, you're kind of like, what the fuck is this? This film is like fucking trash because the first one, you have that, big box office smash. Yeah. And then the second one straight to DVD, and so
with part 2 with Henry Rollins,
the what is it, the little commander guy?
Yeah,
because they did that that kind of like a Survivor show TV series for that one, and then so like that one was kind of like, what the fuck are they doing? But as the series continued to go on, it was kind of like, all right, yeah, like the kills just kept getting better. And so everyone sits back and they're like, oh, how come you don't do kills from Wrong Turn? I would do it, but every time I do, it gets fucking flagged and assumed that it gets taken down so quick. And so it's like, definitely, that's one of my favorite franchises. Or it goes to Facebook and then they mute it. Like there's no sound or anything to it.
I had done one of those back in the day when I was doing the Splatter Day ones. I had done one for Wrong Turn. Well, one's the one. Is it Bloodlines when they're in the snow?
No, the Bloodline. You did part 5.
Part 5.
That was yeah.
I got flagged on that, and I was so disappointed because I had some good videos up and everything like that. But that was my favorite one, the one when they're in the snow and like an abandoned lodge or something like that. I thought that was super fun.
Yeah, that one was cool because that touched on the backstory of them.
Yeah, am I missing out here? Like, so the first Wrong Turn, they got stuck in a DVD player in my house, and it literally ran like over and over and over. So I watched the first one like 1,000 times, and then I was like, I'm never watching another Wrong Turn ever in my life. And I missed, like, I haven't watched any of the like 2, 3, all the way to 6.
Dude, you would love them.
You guys are like loving it. I feel like I'm missing out over here.
100%. You would love Wrong Turn. That is a Josh movie.
Why are we not hanging out doing a Wrong Turn night where we watch all 6? Like, what the fuck? I'll bring my water. I'll bring the tap water.
I have all 6. So whenever you want to come over, we can do that. We can watch all 6 of them. What?
I'm down. I feel like I'm really missing out on that. Everyone, you guys really love it, and I feel like I'm slacking. So yeah.
All right. So the other follower pick was our best sorority themed film. So I decided to do this because everybody's going back to school. Colleges just started up recently. So my idea was I'm going to do a sorority themed one this week. And then next week I'm going to do a fraternity one, which hopefully some people will have some good ideas for that. So best sorority themed one. I think this might have been an obvious choice. And especially because of all the answers. Basically, everybody said the same film except for a couple people. But Black Christmas. And, of course, it's the 1974 Black Christmas, not the remake and not the other remake. So,
the remake of the remake.
Yeah. Not sure why. It sounds so I haven't seen the newest remake. And not like I'm obviously going to talk about the 1974. But I haven't seen the newest remake. But it doesn't even sound like it's actually a remake in that sense. It sounds like it might be a different type of movie, but they just gave it the same name. So I'm not sure why they keep doing that. That seems like a new theme that's been happening a lot. But anyways, the 1974 Black Christmas, Talkative Amber was one that had talked to me about this a little bit, and she was just saying how it's one of her all-time favorite films, and I totally agree with her on that. It's definitely got, like, I don't know, when you watch it, I know it kind of drags at points, and I think that can deter some people, but I feel like that's also a problem with a lot of the films from the 70s. I feel like films from the 70s, a lot of times they can drag, obviously Halloween excluded, but even that one can drag a little bit. I just find it really creepy. I think it's just a creepy ass movie. It definitely gives me chills, and I love the scene with the when they go into the attic and you see the person with the plastic over their face and they're in the rocking chair. I like this movie a ton. And even the remake, the first remake, I should say, I found that to be a super fun movie. It's not really, doesn't hold a candle to the 1974, but it's definitely a fun little film to watch around Christmas time. But yes, sorority theme film, best one, Black Christmas. I did get a couple other votes, which I'll mention. There was one for Hell Night, which I thought was a good pick. We only got one of those votes, so I wish that would have got a couple more votes because that actually was another cool film. Linda Blair, they're doing some kind of like frat sorority initiation, and it's like, that's a little bizarre film, but it's fun. So anyway, you guys, Black Christmas, what do you think?
I was a little upset that my choice wasn't picked.
Dude, I was laughing. So
Josh. Yes, so I had put down Dick Shark, Big Man on Campus.
What?
So our ongoing joke is Josh always talks about the movie Dick Shark. So whenever me and Brandon like do votes and things, we always like to put in our own little Dick Shark entry. So Brandon was Dick Shark, Big Man on Campus. No, that would have won for fraternity theme. Sorry, Brandon.
Dude, why didn't you tell me? I'd have voted for that. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I'm
Dude,
still
that's
still
awesome.
waiting for Dick Shark in the Hood though.
And only one
Yeah.
listener gets this reference.
No, only one. Yeah, the guy that made the movie. Bills above, thank you very much.
Yeah, Black Christmas. I enjoyed that film. You know, even the last remake I thought was a little decent, but you know, like I still have not seen the new one. It's something I'm staying away from. You know, I really don't have any interest in it. You know, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm gonna check it out. What do you think, Josh?
So I watched the original a long time ago, and I was really messed up, and I don't remember a lot of it. And then there was like a remake, and I could care less. And then there was a remake of the remake, I care even less. So I don't remember the first one because I was so messed up when I watched it. I remember putting the DVD in, but that's it. And I gotta be honest, I think it was a VHS. So there you go.
All right.
All right. So while we're on the topic of remakes, Josh, what do you think of them putting together the remake of The Thing again? What do you think about that? Did you even know that?
What? Why would they do that? Well, I gotta say the first thing was, man, that was really the black and white from I think it was '54. I really
Yeah.
loved that. It was a vegetable. You know what I mean? They couldn't kill it, and it turned out to be a vegetable. Like it was so off the wall. And then the remake with obviously, you know, the mutated everything comes together. I mean, that's another one I really like. The remake. I really like the original from '54.
Yeah.
I think it was '54. But then the remake, I really like, and they were two separate, like, standalone films to me. I don't know why they would want to touch on that again.
Well, you know, there's
I think
another one too,
Tucker
right?
made that, didn't he? Like, why would they want to fuck with? What's that?
There was one they made in the early 2000s too.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even see that one. See, there you go. I probably heard about it and was like, oh, I'm not gonna watch this. The first two were so uniquely different. Like the very first one was just a run-of-the-mill horror movie. You know, we got $5,000. Let's make a monster movie. You know, and then later on it was like, all right, let's make a really gory movie. We have the rights to this name. And then, you know, like from there, anything that came after those two, I don't care.
All right.
I just don't. I'm sorry. All right, so Tik 105. We're doing. I got a book of the week that I do, and you know, I read a lot. This year, I read 157 books. So I have absolutely no life, and I have Red Moon by Benjamin Percy. Yeah, big time. I should start a book club. We should do that, a PPD Horror book club. That'd be pretty cool. So Red Moon by Benjamin Percy, great werewolf book. Totally went in the direction I did not think it was going to go. They think that lycanthropy is a disease like mad cow or kuru. And if you don't know kuru, you get that from eating people. So I found that connection real cool, and it's just like mad cow disease. So it was a really cool book, and it took a terrorist twist, and then people were attacking the state of Oregon, and it was just fucking insane. So read that book. And then,
Josh,
what?
It's actually pronounced Oregon. If you are from Oregon, they pronounce it as Oregon, not Oregon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like when I lived in Florida, they yelled at me because I sound like I'm from New York. Anywhere outside of New York. So, Oregon.
Oregon.
I'm working on that. So obviously you guys did not read this book, but you know it takes place in Oregon.
Why, obviously?
Oregon.
I like books.
Because you made fun of me for reading.
I like books.
Okay. Yeah, I could see you have one holding up your chair and everything. Yeah, and then the next book is by our homie Aaron Beauregard. He donated a bunch of stuff to our movie nights. This is Dark Assembly. A bunch of short stories that he wrote, collected, and I got to tell you, they are fucking phenomenal. They start dark, and by the end, you want to throw up. The last story is super vile, super over the top, like pushes every boundary he can push. If you like splatterpunk, I would definitely recommend it, especially The Last Days in Honduras was the last story. I get touchy on kids and stuff, and this one was like super over the top, and I was like, what the fuck? And I threw the book. So anytime a book makes me throw it because it's that intense, it's a really good book.
Josh, did you just say you get touchy with kids?
Yeah, what was that about?
What?
Yeah, you said you got fucking touchy with kids.
All right, moving on. Sounds great, dude.
I know, I can't.
I want to do my book.
All right.
It's not 9 o'clock. Can I do my book?
Sounds good, dude. So shout out to Aaron Beauregard again for, hooking it up with the book and, hooking us up with some raffle prizes when we're doing our live events. Good dude. Evil Examined is his podcast. Make sure you check it out, but always listen to ours as well. You have to listen to both of them at the same time. Get to listen to just one. So shout outs. We wanted to give a few shout outs to a few things that are important to us, or just people that we want you guys to be aware of. So our first one we want to shout out is Womp Stomp Films with Never Hike in Snow. That's a new film. It's a sequel. Is it a sequel or a prequel, Brandon?
I'm thinking it's a prequel because they're gonna do it with the Ghost Jason.
Oh, right.
So he has a few films that's lined up. So gonna continue the stories.
Nice. So that's premiering on October 13th. That's a Friday, of course. Josh, go ahead, man.
I just wanted to give a big shout out. That dude's name, Vincent, who is making that film, right? I can't remember his last name. We did a Friday the 13th horror movie night, and he donated 13 DVDs of his first film, Never Hike Alone. So that was really, really cool to do. That was pretty dope. He gave us some swag too, if I remember. We raffled it all off. So big shout out to him. Much love. So that was it for me.
Yeah, no, Brandon and I got to meet up with him because he's from Mass, so it's right over the border from us. And super nice dude, down to earth, but also just like a huge Friday the 13th fan. Has all these ideas for new content he wants to make that's Friday the 13th related. So I really hope he gets all the opportunities that he deserves and that he can, because I think that someone like him is going to contribute so much to the horror community, especially those of us who love the Friday the 13th franchise. He's talking about mixed media series and stuff like that. I just think, his ideas are just awesome. So big shout out to Vincent and Womp Stomp Films. Make sure you go check them out. So our next shout out, I really want to, I know I said it last episode, but Satanic Panic 81, who's provided music to us for the podcast. We're definitely going to have him on soon so we can talk to him. But I hope you guys have been able to check him out since our first podcast. I love his horror synth. I think it's awesome. So I really appreciate the fact that he's allowed us to sample his music for our intro, our outro, and all that stuff. Definitely go check him out. His album Mara is on Bandcamp, I believe. But yeah, I'm loving it. I definitely am listening to it constantly. So good stuff. All right, guys. So thanks for listening. This has been an eventful hour. So we appreciate it if you made it through. Keep an ear out. We'll definitely have some more content coming soon. We'd love to hear some feedback if you guys have it. So please feel free to give us a rating, leave comments on any platform they're listening, or just send us a message on our social medias. So signing off, this is Dave. Have a great night.
This is Brandon. Take it easy.
This is Doink, the 1 million edit Joshua. There you go.
Josh, shut up!
Shut your mouth, Josh. You shut your mouth.
Oh my god.
Josh, do your goddamn books,
Fucking
dude.
smash your glasses.
Your goddamn books.
Fuck.
I'm sorry.
My books.
I don't know why we're paused here.
Oh my
All right,
god.
real
All right,
quick.
Josh. Josh, just do your books, please.
Fucking shout out.